All right, so why did you choose to work on immigration?
Well, generally, I specialize in a different area of law, but I was called to do immigration cases because there was a story in the Dallas News asking for attorneys to come forward and do volunteer work for hundreds of children who had crossed the border from Central America that were living in detention centers and needed legal help. So I decided to attend one of the orientations, and there were about a hundred or so attorneys there, and uh, the orientation was held by a nonprofit organization that helps immigrants called the Human Rights Initiative. So they kind of walked us through what we would expect. And after listening to the orientation, I decided I'm going to go ahead and try it. I'm an immigrant myself. My husband's an immigrant, but I never had any experience in this particular type of immigration case. I just decided to jump in and start helping, and I took my first client probably within a month after the orientation. And he was a young man, 17 years old, who had crossed the border from El Salvador, where he was living in deplorable conditions.
Okay. Many Americans welcome the arrival of immigrants if done through the legal process. Why do you believe that foreigners decide to get to the country illegally rather than simply getting in line just like everyone else?
Desperation. You're usually living in, like I said earlier, deplorable conditions where they're subjected to gang violence or extreme poverty. They can't get out of the situations they're in. Their lives are in danger. So they are basically looking for a better life for themselves. They want to come here to become educated and to work. But the problem with the immigration with immigration is that the waits are very, very long. And in many situations, unless you have a family member or a company that is going to support your application, it's almost virtually impossible to get here. And some of those wait times or wait lines are maybe 10, even 20 years, depending on the country.
Why do you think there's such a stigma towards undocumented workers?
Well, I think that people might not have all of the information. There are some news outlets that report massive, massive, what do you, medical treatment that they seek through the hospitals and emergency rooms, but really there is little to no evidence that would demonstrate that they are a burden on our health systems at all. Most of them don't want to be sick in any way because they need to work. So it's not like they're really inundating our healthcare system. Also, I think that there has been reporting about criminals, and the way that some of the news portrays it is as if most of them were criminals, but there are millions of undocumented immigrants in the United States. A small percentage of them are actually criminals. Most of them are hardworking people who pay their taxes and who educate their children or educate themselves and stimulate our economy.
Okay, last question. Through your work, you have gotten undocumented people to acquire their American residency. Do you believe that after being granted a legal status, they've become a positive contribution to society?
Absolutely. In fact, I have two clients that were teens when I received their cases who are now in college and working. As far as people who come here to do other types of work, like more manual work, they definitely work very hard. They pay their taxes, they contribute to our society, they stimulate our economy. So I do believe that they're here to better their lives and to contribute to the United States economy. So in my opinion, it's the people that are here that are working should stay here, and especially people that are under the DREAM Act, or as they reference them as dreamers. They are people who've been here since they were children, and they have now become professionals, or they're working in some kind of business that they own. So they're doing very well, and I think those are the kinds of people that the United States needs and should keep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.